Given that I've recorded the first, as if I didn't realize, I've been postponing recording the first month video for so long now, although the information was all in my head ready to be delivered, that I didn't realize that today specifically is 2 months on the calendar since I've had my surgery. It's the same date, 2 months later. I was thinking about the entire process, and from a very early stage, I can say that this is one of the best decisions I have taken. And I've had the surgery on the 29th, on the day of the 29th, whilst I am 29. In the first month, the weight loss process is faster. The more you start to eat, it slows down. After the first month, whilst I started eating a bit more solid foods, I've averaged at about 1 kilogram per week, which I'm really happy with because it's a good process for my skin. I know I'm gonna get to where I need to be. I'm really happy with the process. I try to walk as much as possible. From 2 months, I have started going to the gym. So just now, recently, I started when it was exactly 8 weeks on the calendar, and I feel good. I'm really grateful that I've done this. It has become so much easier to eat because after the first month and 6 weeks, I still had this sensation of swallowing a rock, regardless of how small the food was. So even if you start eating solids, you still need to eat softer solids. I haven't really eaten fresh foods or salads or fruits, and I don't really crave them either. The key is into eating as diverse as possible from a very healthy point of view, prioritizing your protein intake, but you still want to give your stomach a little bit of everything, especially for vitamins and any sort of deficiencies that could be later caused through such a small intake of food. I eat 3, maybe 4 times a day, very little. Even when there's something that I really crave, I take maybe 2 or 3 spoons or bites out of that food, and then I immediately take a break because I need time for that food to get to the stomach. And then I see how I feel once it's reached there, and then I eat maybe 2, 3 more spoons or very little, and then that's it. I don't want to experience a full stomach again. I think once I have, and I didn't like the feeling. I felt a bit scared to have my stomach full, so I prefer to feel food there, but not to have it full, just because it can be painful, and you're very much in a stage where you need to make sure that your stomach doesn't stretch. Not even talking just from a medical surgery perspective, but also as an organ, you want to keep it as small as you can for as long as you can. I've started having coffee maybe 6-7 weeks after the surgery. I could have had it a month after the surgery, but I chose not to. I was really surprised of my energy level. However, at some point I needed a little bit of a boost, either because of my low blood pressure or anything like that, and I just have coffee with milk, but from not the strongest one, but from half a coffee I already feel like I had a lot. This is coming from a person that had an enormous amount of coffee per day. I don't drink it in the morning anymore. I don't feel the need to drink it in the morning anymore, and I have maybe one in the afternoon. And once I had half an espresso being already really small as it is, and I think I had half of it, and I could hear colors and see sounds. It's amazing how the needs and the quantities change after the surgery. And personally, I'm in a place where I like experimenting with these new quantities. There's very little of me, or nothing of me, that wants to go back to how things were before. I find it comforting that they're not like that anymore, and my life has become significantly more easy. I've already started taking some vitamins, some of the vitamins that I was taking before this. I will do some blood tests after 3 months, and I'm going to stop taking all the vitamins before those blood tests to see if my body has everything it needs. At the moment, I'm not going to tell you which are the ones that I'm taking, but they're just the general vitamins, welcome to everyone at any point. Nothing too specific. I have experienced some hair loss. However, I have a lot of hair, even if it might not be very visible today. I have a lot of hair, and it fell a lot before as well. So to be honest, I can't really tell if it's more than before or the same, but it is happening. And I did buy some vitamins for this, but I've also read the side effects on some forums, and it kind of put me off because some people complained of stomach problems or all sorts of things, and that's the last thing I would want right now, to try to save my hair and create other unnecessary sensitivities in my stomach now. If I will take them, I will update you, but this hasn't been the case so far. I haven't had any more massages for my skin in this month, and I have ordered a radio frequency device to use it on myself from now on. It's a portable, use-at-home device, and I found that for me the investment was better long term than paying, to be honest, it was the equivalent of like 6 massages or less. So I prefer to have it and use it on myself for as long as I need without depending on any further appointments. At the moment, after 2 months, I have lost 17 kilograms. So 5 more after the first month of the surgery. I'm really happy with the progress. Before having the surgery, I was looking on quite a lot of videos online, and it just felt like for a lot of people, it was something that they were really grateful that they've been through. And for some others, either maybe they were too young or they haven't done too much research on the topic, they had this grief and regret for the foods they cannot eat anymore. Which, in fairness, I don't feel that. For me, it's purely a relief, and I'm so grateful that I've done this. And this really is the best gift I could have given myself before turning 30. The only element, after coming back to work, the only element that I'm struggling with a little bit is water intake. So I don't know, find whatever bottle works for you best and make sure that you drink minimum 2 liters per day. I don't think I've been so dehydrated in my entire life, and I do not like this experience. However, it's important to not drink about 15-20 minutes before food and at least 30-45 minutes after you eat, which is, I think, the part where I struggle the most, because I seem to remember that I'm dehydrated also when I need to eat. The more control you can have over this side, the better. I continue avoiding drinking from straws because there's a little air intake as well as the water, and I try to avoid any air in my stomach, drinking straight from a wide bottle or from a glass. There isn't anything even more specific that I could tell you so far, unless I get in time questions on this. But this is the main thought that I have, that I'm grateful that I've done this every single day. I'm just enjoying life completely differently, even if I still have a long way to go. I'm very excited about the process. For once, I'm just really excited about the process. I've done it in the right time. I'm young. I'm very young for it, so my healing has been really quick. However, this healing in itself, this process accelerates the healing of your body as it is. Once I started eating more solids, I was really concerned about my protein intake. I still haven't had any shakes because I was just a bit afraid of how they're processed and the chemicals, bringing them into a brand new stomach. So I try to have it from food as much as possible, and it just seems that I cope really well with Asian food. I really struggled with some eggs when I had to eat them. It felt like the worst battle I ever had in my life, and I battled half a boiled egg. That was not fun. And later on, when I could have like prawn tempura, I was so surprised that I could eat it so easily and that I could enjoy it so easily. And at the beginning there wasn't too much protein. I could eat maybe the egg whites, but not a lot of meat, and I wanted the meat for the vitamins. However, later down the process, this became much easier, much earlier than I expected. I think after 6 or 7 weeks, I've already had a little bit of lamb, a little bit of beef, a little chicken breast. I've read somewhere that you can't have like red meat for 6 months. My doctor said test to see if your stomach can cope with it. Don't do it too early, knowing that you cannot. But at some point, just test little amounts and see if your body can do well with it. And I started feeling much better. And I really feel when I'm lacking protein, and I'm trying not to allow myself to get to that stage where I'm very deprived of protein. However, at the beginning, prawns really saved me. At some point, I even had some sushi for the same purpose. And also for proteins, at some point, I did have some sort of puddings. My favorite ones that I found are the ones from Lidl. If you are in a country that has Lidl, those seem to be the ones that I've enjoyed the most. But the main source is meat, and then maybe later on I'm going to go back into protein shakes. I don't know at this stage. Thank you for being here.